It's a topic that's sparking national, state, and now local debate. Should it be legal for people to light up marijuana cigarettes for medical reasons? Well, here to weigh in is our legal expert, Jay Davis. All right, Jay, let's go back to the basics with our first question. First of all, how did marijuana become illegal and what's changed since then?
Well, you know, before it was made illegal, it was made mandatory.
Okay.
So for years, every colonist was required to produce a certain amount of hemp.
Okay.
You know, for those purposes. Sometime around in the 20s, different states started having poison control issues. And in there, a lot of them listed cannabis as one of the issues to control. And then as time went on, the federal government got involved and there were sort of blanket control things. We got pharmacists developed and that type of stuff. And there was a lot more regulations on that from the federal level.
Okay, so we know that back then kind of something's changed in the makeup maybe of the plant, and then now here we are today.
In the makeup of the plant?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, well, obviously in the past few years there's been, you know, higher levels of manufacture and higher levels of THC and that stuff in the plants. That's relatively recent. When it went illegal, that wasn't true.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, let's kind of move on to the current issue at hand. One of our Middle Georgia State representatives, Alan Peake, told us that legalizing marijuana for medical purposes only is a discussion that might take place in the General Assembly this year. First of all, if it does, what type of legal issues would the state have to work through in order to make that happen?
Well, Georgia would have the same problem that Colorado and Oregon and a lot of these other states have, and that is that suddenly something that's legal under state law is illegal under federal law. That's you know, more and more states are doing that. Federal law, now there's a lot of people trying to challenge the federal law, but it says it's a Schedule I drug. Schedule I has no medicinal purposes. Almost every state now, including and the federal government, actually recognize that marijuana does have medicinal purposes for cancer treatments, for different things along that. So it's going to be hard for them to justify how it remains a Schedule I drug and thus illegal under federal law. But there's two types of law always. Federal government, something can be illegal under federal law and states cannot take authority over that issue. So the federal government can come in and arrest somebody, charge them in federal court, have a federal court crime, and the states can say, hey, we're not looking at it at all. It doesn't matter to us.
Okay, so again, it'll kind of remain between the states will regulate it how they will, but at any point, federal government can jump on in there and say, hey.
That's right. Federal government is regulating as some sort of commerce, which the federal government has the right to regulate. State laws regulate as drugs and pharmaceuticals and that type of stuff, which they have the right to regulate. Sometimes the regulation has the right over both. Sometimes, like immigration, for example, is only under the domain of the federal government. This case, marijuana, under both.
All right, and Jay, you're going to jump more in depth in this weekend on It's the Law Weekend Edition. And you remember, you can catch him every Saturday on My 41.2 at 3 and on Sunday right here on 41 NBC at 6. And don't forget, if you've got a legal question for Jay, you can email us at itsthelaw@41nbc.com. We'll answer it right here on the news at 6. Jay, thanks for weighing in.
Thanks.